Welcome to Fat Kids Food Porn. Today we're gonna make us a Western smoked meatloaf. If you've never smoked a meatloaf, oh dude, you gotta get out and try this. So, first off, we always gotta start off with the rum and coke, which I've already started. I've got about 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm using an 80-20 blend. So I got that here in the bowl. One of the things that I do with my meatloaf that not a lot of people do is I actually add a little bit of veggie into it. It just helps keep the moisture in there, and everybody likes moist things. So I want to make sure that we keep that moisture in there. So for the veggies, I'm going to start off, I'm going to throw in about a half an onion. I got some carrots and some celery that I'm going to stick in there. So I'm going to just get these chopped up here real quick. I'm going to put a fine dice on all of it, so that way you don't have huge chunks of veggies hanging out in your meatloaf. Alright, next up, I just got some real petite carrots. I'll dice these up as well real quick here. When I say, we'll call it a cup of carrots. Don't need a lot. So these you want to make sure you get cut up really well, because if not, carrots will not cook down. So just make sure you get a good, nice chop on those. And then finally, I'm gonna just do 1 stalk of celery. So we got the veggies in there. It's going to add some nice color to it. Next up, I'm going to throw in some barbecue sauce. And as I've said on previous shows, it's always nice to get in there and play with your meat. That way you know what you're cooking with. It just it's nice to play with your food a little bit. I don't know what you would call that. Let's call it a half cup, 3/4 cup. I don't know. As you can see, just put a nice little amount on there. And we're going to drop an egg into that just to help with the binding. And we're going to add some cheddar cheese. So essentially I'm making kind of like a little meatball in loaf form, essentially. Oh, this is going to be tasty. Ooh, forgot one key ingredient. Gotta have bacon. Cannot forget the bacon in a Western style meatloaf. So I'm gonna just take 2 strips of bacon, chop it up, and then we'll add that into the pool. And then for seasoning, like I've said on many shows, I'm not a huge seasoning fan, but I do like just some kosher salt and some fresh black pepper. Usually like to just let the ingredients tell the story and just tickle your taste buds. Alright, the wifey reminded me I almost forgot a key ingredient. Whenever you're making a Western style meatloaf is some jalapenos. I'm doing tamed jalapenos. My mom's not a huge heat fan, but to each their own. If you like a little bit of heat, you can add in fresh jalapenos. Or these tamed ones are a great option as well. Just gives you that nice jalapeno flavor without all of that heat. So we just chop these up, throw them into the pool. All right, now we're gonna get our hands dirty. Get in here and mix all this up. We'll make sure you get it all really mixed really well. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Why you have a sink and soap. You can wash it off afterwards. So roughly, you're gonna have your meatloaf looking like this. I'm gonna let it rest. This is a great time for me to go out and get the grill fired up. All right, so we're gonna get the grill fired up here. Biggest thing is if you have a charcoal grill and you don't have a charcoal chimney, you're an idiot. Go buy one. It will light your grill much faster. But you're not standing around waiting all night to eat your dinner. I'm going to start off with about half of that because I want to go low. So that way the smoke really permeates. I'm going to be using a pecan wood. Make sure you soak that and piss your wife off by using one of her nice little Tupperware bowls. They always love that. All right, we got the grill coming to temp. Perfect time to make another cocktail. And get our meatloaf ready to throw on there. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it on some aluminum foil and just let some of that smoke really get inside. Refresh the cocktail. We got the grill coming to temperature, so we're going to get the meatloaf ready to throw onto the grill. I'm going to set it on some aluminum foil. Essentially what I do, pull off enough because I'm going to bend this in half just to give it some extra durability. Anytime you're using aluminum foil on the grill, remember the dull side is usually the non-stick side with aluminum foil. When you put it on there, you just want to make sure you got a nice, tight meatloaf because you don't want that to be falling off and going all over the place on you. All right, we got our meatloaf ready. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to smoke this for about an hour. Grill temperature is going to be right about 250, so nice and low and slow, just so it really permeates and you get that nice little smoke ring around your meatloaf. After I do that for an hour, then I'm going to spend another hour. I'm going to bring it up to temperature about 350 degrees, add some more charcoal, a bigger chunk of wood, and let it finish off for that last hour. Essentially just like in your oven, only you're getting more of that smoked flavor. Can't beat a smoked meatloaf. You're going to love this. All right, so we've got our grill up to temperature. We're ready to slap on our meatloaf. One thing you want to do anytime that you're smoking or you're slow cooking, you don't want direct heat. That's called grilling. We're not grilling this shit. We're going to smoke it and get some good flavor into it. So I've got it set off to the side where it can sit here and just get some smoke for about an hour. All right, we got the meatloaf on. It's going to be smoking for about an hour. This is a great time to do some more food prep. You cannot have meatloaf without mashed potatoes, according to the wife. She's a little crazy. She loves her starches. But I guarantee I eat a little bit of the mashed potatoes. So, great time, like I said. You got an hour. You can drink some rum, peel some potatoes, get the rest of the stuff ready to go. All right, so we got the potatoes peeled. I'm going to chop them up. And one thing with mashed potatoes, I actually like them better with the peels on, but I get outvoted because the wifey does not like the peels in her mashed potatoes. So, wifey's happy. She gets her potatoes peeled, chunk these up, and throw them in water, stick them on the stove. One thing, wife's going to get a little surprised tonight because I'm going to probably do garlic mashed potatoes. And I'll show you guys little tricks on how to do that, and all they turn out just wonderful. All right, so after you cut all your potatoes, I cut them in half and then just chunk them up. They don't have to be pretty because they're just getting boiled in order to get smashed and whipped up by old Rosie. It's just a rough chop, will do. As I said, nothing pretty. Break them up so that they can cook through as you're boiling them down. All right, so I got the potatoes on the stove, sitting in water, chilling, while our meatloaf is still smoking. Next thing I'm getting ready is our corn. So I've said many times, make sure that you got a good cast iron because there's nothing better than smoked corn. You stick this on the grill and it actually will gather that wood smoke and that flavor is just unbeatable. Unfortunately right now this time of year, I don't have fresh corn, so I'm stuck with frozen, but I make the best out of whatever I have. All right, I got the corn in the cast iron. I'm gonna add some water to this. I'm gonna take it out, throw it on the grill. I'm gonna let it just sit there and cook. It'll be off the direct heat, so it'll just sit there. Same thing with the meatloaf, and just grab that smoke and really permeate and just give it a great flavor. All right, so I got the corn on there, added a few more wood chips. I'll add these about every 10-15 minutes just to make sure that we really got a nice rolling smoke. As needed, I'll add some charcoal to it as well, but I still want to keep that temperature about 250 for that first hour. The nice thing about the water on these wood chips is it throws that moisture in there. And as I said earlier, everybody loves something moist. Now the best part of wherever you're smoking and cooking slow and low is now you get to kick back, relax, read a good book, and drink some damn rum. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left. Got about half a bottle of rum in me, ready to get these mashed potatoes finished off. So what I'm going to do is I took my cooked off potatoes, I boiled them down, straightened them out, and slapped them in old Rosie over here. What I'm adding is about a 1/4 stick of butter, minus that much that I'm going to use in the corn. So that way whenever I salt and pepper to taste the corn, you got a little bit of butter in there, got some sour cream. I'm going to use a couple healthy spoonfuls of sour cream in here. Like I said, I typically don't ever measure shit, so yeah, add this in here. You can play with it to whatever your taste may be. The other thing, like I said, I'm going to make actually some garlic mashed potatoes. So I'm cheating. I'm using some of this diced garlic. I actually like this. It comes in good for different kinds of dishes. I also love fresh garlic as well. But for this one, I'm going to cheat and just use some of the pre-diced garlic. And then I'm going to use Rosie so she can do all the heavy lifting for me, because I'm fat and don't feel like mashing these potatoes in by hand. Alright. So I'm going to get these potatoes good and whipped. Wife doesn't like them chunky. While I'm sitting here letting Rosie do this, I'm going to add some fresh pepper and salt to taste. Alright, we got them whipped into shape. Let's give it a little taste test here. Those are on point. Alright, last step. Go pull everything off of the grill, get this plated, and have us some Western meatloaf. All right, here's our corn that has that smoke in it. You can see there's a little bit of brown into that corn. That's that smoke flavor. As I said, I saved a little bit of butter on the back side here from the potatoes. I'm gonna slap in there for taste. A little bit of salt and pepper. And we're gonna go grab the meatloaf and pull it off the grill, and we're gonna be all set. All right, we got our meatloaf, Western style, off of the grill, ready to cut this up, get it plated. As I told you guys, the whole point behind my show is just to inspire you to get out there and cook, try new things. There's nothing more relaxing if you truly enjoy cooking. This is one way that I decompress. So if you have some things that you want to try, something you've never cooked or just have a hankering for, hit me up, like and subscribe on the page, and send me a comment, and I'll see what I can do about making it for you. Take care.